I've been investigating and working to understand Nebraska's elections for over 2 years now. What we have found is really shocking and absurd. These three bills begin to address the severe issues we have as a state. We have a Secretary of State and county election officials telling us to trust them because they say so in spite of all the issues we continue to bring before them. LB193 requires that we treat our ballots as if they're at least as valuable as a dollar bill. Sadly, those in charge of our elections in Nebraska have completely neglected their duties in this area. In several counties, they mail out ballots to every name on the voter rolls, regardless of whether the rolls are accurate. By working with Cause of America, as you can see in the first handout I shared with you, we ran our 2022 voter rolls against the NCOA. In this report, you will find over 18,000 people have permanently moved out of the state of Nebraska and are still able to vote. Douglas County has almost 7,000, Lancaster 3,500. This data only accounts for people that have moved in the last 4 years. So that means my sister who moved out of Nebraska 14 years ago is still on my county rolls. Also in my county, I knocked on some doors to ask my neighbors some questions. I quickly found 12 people in my small rural county that have received ballots that they never requested. My clerk has no record of them requesting it. Where did they come from? I found 2 people voting from a closed business in my county. They no longer live there, but they're still voting. One voter was told on election day when she showed up that she already voted. By now you're concerned about the cost of ballots. In your handout, I reached out to a company in Texas that specializes in printing these kinds of ballots. Some counties pay 9 cents a ballot, some counties pay 29 cents a ballot. This quote is for 30 cents a ballot. There's over $2 billion set in here in Lincoln. I can't think of a better way to spend that money than to secure our elections with ballots that cannot be counterfeited. LB193 stops our Secretary of State from abusing his power by dictating to counties that he believes they have no right to hand count their ballots, and that somehow after decades of hand counting ballots, it's a new method. But this bill makes it clear that his office can no longer threaten county workers with lawsuits, fines, and removal from office. It also addresses the idiocracy of recounting ballots only one way, the same way done initially. How on earth do you reconcile this inept practice? Think about a banking experience. It wouldn't work. LB193 bans election equipment that have components and systems created out of the United States. And yes, ES&S has plenty of parts coming from China. You can see in one of the handouts that some of the motherboards for our DS200s, the motherboards come from the People's Republic of China. We're being told to trust election officials even though they trust a private corporation with undisclosed ownership that with parts from foreign adversaries. ES&S has a long history of misrepresenting the truth. They violated their certification, which also basically means nothing. If you look at the EAC certification that I shared with you, it says that an EA certification is not a determination that the system is ready for use in an election. We have a lot of problems. We're asking county clerks to be bank tellers responsible for securing entire digital banking systems with the current system that we have. Sorry.
All right, you covered a lot of ground here.
I did.
Before we let you go, because we've got a lot of stuff here, we want to make sure that we got it in the record exactly what we have. So, let's start with the one with the Nebraska flag on. It says, what do you call it?
Nebraska NCOA
report. Okay, so this report is from who?
It is. We worked with Cause of America and purchased the voter rolls. Nebraskans purchased the voter rolls. Cause of America helped run the report through the NCOA. So it's an official report from them.
If I shift to the back and you've got this sheet that has the bars going across and all.
Yes.
What exactly are the bars showing?
They are showing the counties with the percentage of unresolved moves. So
And that's the red indicating on the
Yep.
outside.
So the top counties would be the worst counties, the most unresolved voters who've moved outside of the state of Nebraska within the last 4 years, not beyond.
All right, let's shift gears to the rest of your pile here.
Okay?
This sheet here, this is,
That is the email from Authentics out of Texas, and it shows you their ballpark quote. They won't give me any more details because I am not part of the government. So they said based on the bill that I sent to them, because I sent a specific bill language, so they knew exactly what the requirements would be. They said it would cost about 30 cents per paper.
okay. All right, now we go to the election system, the software, the ESS. This letter
Yes.
here, this is
That is,
indicating components?
so that is, those are two letters from the EAC to ES&S calling them out for mislabeling. They put stickers on their tabulators saying that they do not connect to the internet, cannot connect to the internet. They were discovered to actually do so, and the EAC was calling them out for being dishonest about that. They said, oh, we didn't know that, and then the EAC had to go back and tell them to remove those stickers because they didn't voluntarily remove the stickers with the false information.
Good. All right, now, the others here. What does ES&S say about your machines being connected to internet or internet capable?
So this includes the handout that Senator Halloran shared with you about the NBC News article. They had over 14,000 DS200 tabulators with online modems, but they were not honest about that. They had none. And this next page, it talks about in Antrim, Michigan, someone opened up the DS200 and found a Telet modem chip installed on the motherboard, and there is a picture of that as well.
All right, the last one here, this sheet here.
So that one is the EAC certification. It talks about the VSTL that certifies it as Pro V&V. They, their director, the person in charge of Pro V&V, was someone with no specialized expertise in cybersecurity testing or analysis or risk analysis whatsoever. So that's who's authorizing this certification. But even when we flip to the next page and you see the highlighted areas, it tells you what the certification is not. It is not an endorsement of the manufacturer, it's not a warranty. It is not a substitute for state and local certification and testing, and it is not a determination that the system is ready for use in an election.
We got one more here, the one that has the highlight to the center
Yes.
part.
So that came from Colonel Sean Smith. He had, it was 75 pages. I didn't give you the whole thing. I plan to email that to you so you have access to the full 75 pages. It is his sworn testimony in a lawsuit in Alabama. So I pulled out some of the most important pieces of that, as well as there should be this one in there as well. He outlines the source location for pieces. ES&S you can see is highlighted. Our DS200s come from Biotech, and the motherboard is manufactured in the People's Republic of China. Not just small pieces, it's the entire motherboard.
Okay, let's see, we got questions here for you. Questions?
Thank you, Ms. Sauder. Can you tell me, so you're saying that the type of scanners that we have in Nebraska are the DS200 models?
That's one of them. We have DS450s and 850s. I was trying to find the specific information on those, and Sean was working up, but he didn't quite get that to me.
And I also noticed you had highlighted on the first page, the EMS network servers, power edge.
Those are some pieces that ES&S has as well. I don't know exactly which ones those are. Sean highlighted those as part of our system. So, our Dell laptops are also part of the problem. They have components coming from China as well.
So, I guess the question is, are those components also inside the DS200 scanning machines that we use?
Well, they would probably be different components, but yes, the DS200s have, the motherboard is from China.
Thank you very much.
Okay, additional questions? All right, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
All right, just a quick refresher here. No, you're doing great. You're